Honestly, I could use some steak. Steak sounds really nice. You know what else sounds really nice? A best of 3 PvP between these two lovely players spawning. In the lower right-hand corner of Golden Aura, we've got Team Liquid's Skillus. And his opponent in the upper left-hand corner. For Psystorm Gaming, it is Gerald. And courtesy of Raining Bagels, we don't need an energy drink when we got one of these. As we get into this PvP, we're going to give these players a big ol' yeehaw! Because we got ourselves some Protoss versus Protoss. And we know that's the good stuff. We know that's what we're looking for in here. I ain't seeing any pylons out on the map just yet. Everybody keeping it nice and normal, nice and regular. Well, we do have 2 gates up on the high ground for both players, so nobody trying to be super cheeky, going for quick expands or anything like that. Got to keep an eye out for what the tech choice is going to be. Oh, double stalker here for Skillus, so he might be eyeing up getting a little bit aggressive. We do have the stalker sentry from Gerald. Pretty standard macro play out of him. I like how Gerald is chasing away the probe with the with the sentry. Oh, Gerald let his pylon finish. As did Skillus. Skillus trying to full block that with the Cybercore, but doesn't get a chance to. And I think Gerald's probe died on this side of the map as well, so...
Our pylon is under attack.
Yeah, he doesn't have a probe over here to continue blocking. It looks like both players just going to clear these pylons. Gerald drops the Nexus. Does feel like Skillus is going to drop a Nexus as well. There it goes. Oh my god, I didn't even realize we got to sell ourselves a second redemption. Senju coming in here. And he wants another one. Alright. When are we going to do it? When are we going to hit the second of the yeehaws? I think we got to wait till the opportune moment arises. Somebody's got to yeehaw their units in somewhere. We got to wait till a right proper attack happens. Alright, Blink starting up for both our players here. Oh, look at that cute little crab beetle. Look at him just bumbling around. He's so cute. No shield battery here for Skillus. Gerald might be able to pick off a couple of units here if he has some nicely placed force fields. Oh, grabs a stalker. Grabs a sentry. Loses a sentry. All in all, looks like a good trade for Gerald. This is very passive play. It's exactly what I expect to see out of some European PvP. I forget what it's like. You know, you watch the Koreans play and you think, oh, well, it's going to be a Rige Robo or Proxy or somebody's going to get real aggressive with their Blink Stalkers. But nah, these players just chill. They just chill. Banglory, thanks for hanging out. Good luck at the gym. Say hi to Jim for me. And enjoy your steak. I could go for a steak. You know what I've been really wanting to do is go to there's a Brazilian steakhouse near here. I've been wanting to go back. It's like $80. Where it is all you can eat steak, and it's so good. It's so good. I gotta go back. I'm surprised, even with Skillis' blink finishing up, he doesn't move out at all. Not trying to put any pressure on. These players are playing too passive right now. What I really need from them is big energy. I need big attacks. I need somebody to take their units and just yeehaw right into their opponent's base. That's what we really need. You know what I'm saying? They ain't giving me a chance to yee. They ain't giving me a chance to haw. We just got to take it. And what are we doing here? We're just playing so passive. So passive. All right, finally, Gerald making some action happen here. And he is going to get a lot of probe kills. See what happens when you can put some pressure on. He can get a lot of probe kills. That is 9 probe kills. And then he's going to go for the recall, as Skillis did get a few stalkers in here. Oh, but look at that beautiful force field. One of those stalkers is going to go down. Only 2 probes going down on this side of the map. Gerald definitely taking the better end of that trade. Even going to try to trap these stalkers here. Beautifully done. Yeah, this is really, really nice for Gerald. Takes a worker lead. Should be able to take at least a slight army lead here. Now, Charge did just finish for Skillis. So he's got that going for him. He's going to drop a bunch more gateways and head into like a Charge Lot Archon follow-up here. It's going to give him a lot of very powerful units. So what is Gerald going to do? It turns out Gerald's going to do basically the same thing. Charges a little bit later, but we'll see if it ends up mattering. I feel like it'll probably be done before the next big fight happens with Charge. Ah, that Brazilian steakhouse. Damn it. The people I would go with are on vacation. I'm gonna have to wait till they get back. Maybe next week. Maybe next week I'll try to get a Brazilian steakhouse night in. I dream about it. I ate so much meat. I've never eaten so much meat in my life as I did at that Brazilian steakhouse, guys. Let me tell you. It was so good. I'm gonna cry. Alright, Gerald coming back in. He's trying to raise the stakes of this game. He's got a meaty army, but Skills does have a couple of Immortals in here. He's got those Archons as well. Really beefing up this army. Gerald gonna take the fight at the bottom of the ramp. It's kind of hard to tell whose favor this is going in right now. Good catch on the Prism there as Gerald blinks through. I genuinely am not sure. If we look at the supplies, they end up dead even after that. Gerald just warped in a bunch of Zealots to jump his back up. I imagine Skillis will do the same shortly. And Skillis is routing this. His Zealots seem to be winning the fight. I think the Archons are making a big difference here. Just adding in that splash damage behind the line of Zealots. Oh, and that is going to be another dead Immortal here for Gerald. He's warping in a bunch of Stalkers to push this away. And it looks like he will push it away. Grabs a couple of those Immortal, or a couple of those Archons, rather. Skillis has more stuff trickling across the map. Ooh, his Archon caught a little bit out. Oh, the last Stalker shot doing it. Gerald is staying alive, but he is down in army supply right now. That being said, he's up in workers, 79 to 66, so he should be able to resupply a little bit more easily than Skillis. Dark Shrine and the Robo Bay going down here for Gerald. As well as starting up +3, which Skillous has not done just yet. Oh, but we got Prism coming in here. Gerald going to warp in units in Skillus's base. There is a Prism on this side as well, as Skillous is coming in for an attack. But he is going to have to deal with those Zealots in his base at some point. But right now he's just trying to dive forward. He sees how many Stalkers there are. Super Shield Battery turns on. Skillous will back up for that. He is warping in Zealots back at home. Some Stalkers as well, and make sure that Prism gets out of there. And Gerald holds on through the attack. Doesn't really take any damage. There's that +3 started up for Skillous, and it's actually not that far behind Gerald's. But Gerald getting into those disruptors, as well as potentially blink DTs here. It's a big deal. Skill's going to be the first to put down a 5th Nexus as he is heading around towards this base. Gerald is heading this way as well, but I think he's going to get caught off guard by the presence of Skillus's army, which surprised him a little bit. Now he's got to come back over and posture here, but he's got Zealots and DTs warping in on the other side here. There's a cannon and a shield battery. I feel like the DTs can kill this, but Super Shield Battery is turned on to buy some time. It's not going to buy enough time, though. That cannon's going to go down. And a few probes starting to fall. Oh, Gerald just going to go for the Nexus. I don't think he gets this Nexus, though. Oh, he's going to try to warp in on the high ground with a couple of DTs. Not going to be able to get that Nexus. It is damaged, potentially a target for later. DT's coming in here. The Warp Prism went down. But this all pulls the pressure off of Gerald's back, so he can take a 5th base. He can just be, you know, chilling back at home. Doesn't have to worry about Skillous being out on the map because he's back home trying to defend this. And he will clean all this up. Oh, that's a lot of Stalkers, though. The Stalkers blink in. A bit of a misclick there from Gerald. I think he just killed his own Stalker, but he does kill the Nexus. Skillous starts it back up immediately. Gerald's going to go for the recall. We'll lose a few Stalkers in doing so. Oh, man. Those poor Stalkers. I don't know what hit him. But, yeah, he kills the Nexus. That's a good kill. And Skillus's 5th base was up much earlier than Gerald's, but he hasn't really been able to use it. There's only 61 probes here for Skillous. I feel like he needs to build some more. Gerald's on 82. And as his 5th base tries to get some static defense at it, the Zealots dive in. Skillous is going to go for a recall on a handful of units here to try to deal with this as he's attacking on the other side of the map. Honestly, the Charge Lots are doing a great job against these recalled units. And that's a big problem when you try to recall and you just don't get enough units in. Ends up being worse. Three more probes going down, but it seems like Skillus's plan is to just fill that gap with army, as he is up a lot of army supply right now, 30 army supply up. And it looks like he's going to try to hit on both the bottom side and the top side with that big army supply lead. Zealot's running a little bit far forward there, as yeah, the Stalkers hit from the bottom side with an Immortal and some Zealot reinforcements. Stalkers and Zealots hitting on the top side here. Disruptor Nova's going off, getting some great connections. Ooh, Skillous blinks forward and eats more Disruptor Novas, but he is going to be able to kill this base. At the same time, he's keeping the pressure on down here. The supplies for both players plummeting as Gerald loses his probe lead. He is ahead a little bit in army supply, though, and he's got some DTs hitting this 5th base of Skillous. So both players losing a lot of economy, losing a lot of their units. They're both just going to have to remake. Skillous, it looks like he's focused on this Nexus. Oh, can he get it? Can the Immortal finish it off? No, not quite. Got 86 hit points left as Skillous is forced to get out of there. 4 DTs coming in here now, but a big warp and a Stalkers. And looks like those DTs will go down. Oh, I love this for Gerald. Super Shield Battery has a pretty quick reset time. So using it in this situation to just heal up all of those Nexus shields without just trying to waste the energy of the shield batteries, I think that's really, really smart. Puts 1,000 hit points on that bad boy. Makes it a little bit less of a target for the next wave. Which Skills is sending in. The armor supplies are very close now. Skills has +1 armor to the +1 shields of Gerald. Interesting differentiation there. Great pick off of that Prism as Gerald blinks on forward. Oh, Skills' army a little bit split now. He's got to be careful. Disruptor Nova is dodged, but there's more where that came from. The Stalkers, though, going to blink forward. Oh, they don't get that Disruptor in time. It gets a massive connection. And I think with that, I think this fight's going well enough for Gerald, maybe, for him to take this game. But as I say that, more Zealots show up on the bottom side for Skillis, and the small numbers of Stalkers are so bad against Charge Lots. If there's a huge group of Stalkers, Charge Lots are not that great against them. But when it's a small group like that, just a handful of Charge Lots can do so much work. Skill's going to dive in here now, going for the Nexus again. It does have all those shields. It's being healed by the Super Shield Battery, and that is going to keep it alive once again. Gerald holding on to that all-important third base, and it is very important. He's got Zealots up here preparing to potentially run in. Skills has retaken this 5th base. He is mining from it again. The mining's a lot closer than it was before. This game is still so close. The Disruptors have been really, really nice for Gerald. At the very least, zoning Skillis back. But we have seen a couple of decent hits as well. We haven't seen this base be under fire just yet. I know it's got some cannons at it, but I feel like if some Stalkers and Zealots went over there, it's very far away for Gerald. Might be really hard to hold. He is diving in up here. Disruptor is actually killing some of Gerald's own Zealots. And hey, there we go. Skills was thinking the same thing. He's going to dive in. Just take out some of that static defense and leave. Doesn't want to overcommit. Overstay is welcome. Skills is going to try to take the gold base as a 6th. It does feel like a lot of the action has been on Gerald's side of the map in this game. Skills has kept the pressure on despite being down an army supply for a lot of it. But he also has +2 armor now. Gerald never started up +2 shields, so Skills is going to have that upgrade advantage. Also interesting how it's armor versus shield upgrades. Oh yeah, and there's Gerald starting up +1 armor. I was just thinking that might be worth it. Blink goes down. Zealots are going to dive in. Pretty sure Zealots can just kill this, right? Like, especially that Disruptor diving a little bit too far forward. Super Shield Battery does turn on. We got some DTs warping in and a recall as Gerald commits a lot to the defense. And he's sending the army down here. Ooh, Skills caught a little bit off guard there. DT working on that Nexus. It has been spotted. Disruptor still causing problems for Skillis. He does not have any Disruptors of his own. He does have +3 armor nearly done, though. That'll give him a nice upgrade lead for a little while. Skillis is being allowed to hold on to this base for now. Zealots coming in for a flank. A big blink forward there from Gerald, but I don't know if that worked out too well. Oh my god, but the Disruptor Nova is hitting these Stalkers. So back and forth. The army supply is still in favor of Gerald. But it seems like Skillus won that fight, and he's going to push this forward and force a cancel immediately on that 6th base attempt of Gerald. He's bringing over some more units to help him push this back. Oh, he's going to jump on top of this. Skillus turns around to fight. It's all he can really do right now. More Stalkers and Zealots showing up. Skillus gets out of there. But he's down 30 army supply. Despite having 3-3 to the 3-1-1 of his opponent. Feels like this base might not be long for this world. Skill's going to warp in a bunch of Zellies. As Gerald comes in here, he's going to take out probes. But Gerald's a little bit trapped in here. We could see Skillus try to hit from the top side as well. He's just going to hit down here. I really kind of wish he had sent Zealots up here or something. Had a pincer move on this army. That's 10 more dead probes. That's another dead base. And now Gerald is the one on top of the ramp. Oh, Disruptor Nova going out. Gets a big connection, and that's just going to be it. As Skillus is falling further and further behind, Gerald finally closes it out in game number 1. GG. So game 2 is going to be on Oceanborn. Just waiting for Skillus. Going to take stock of the rest of the bracket while we do that. Clem is waiting in the quarterfinals. Estrella is waiting in the quarterfinals. And we've got Starkiller versus Beyond. This is also a quarterfinal. But the winner of this is not going to have an opponent just yet. It will eventually be Clem. But he's not ready yet. He's got another match to play first. Look at that sweet boy. He's so cute in his little box. Cats in boxes, man. Name a better combo. All right, game 2 is here. Let's hop on in. See if he can close it out. Spawning in the upper left-hand corner of Oceanborn. It is our blue Protoss player for Psystorm Gaming, Gerald. And his opponent in the lower right. In the red for Team Liquid, Skillus. Alright. Nobody going for any low ground walls here. Everybody keeping it safe up on the high ground. I know Gerald doesn't like the low ground walls. I don't know if he still does it, because I haven't cast them a lot lately, but even on maps where there's like a ramp down from the natural, Gerald still likes to build his wall up on the high ground. He's just not a big fan of the low ground walls. He can be very good at probe harass, though, so I like that Skillus is really trying to force that probe out. Gerald is one of those players I've seen drop the cheeky pylon here and like block in probes. It's always so fun to see. I'm sure it's not fun to play against, but it is fun to see. We also met in the ESL Europe today, where Skillus won 2-1. But it does seem like it's revenge time. It does seem like it. Alright, pylon is canceled this time. Last game they both just let their pylons finish to keep blocking, which I think was very strange. I don't think I see that often unless it's like the low ground 1-gate expand. But Skill is going for pretty quick Twilight Council here, as is Gerald. Again, pretty much the exact same thing as last game. Gerald's Twilight Council a little bit earlier, but his Nexus a little bit later. All in all, I have a feeling we're just going to macro and get to that same sort of European PvP game state that you expect to see in this matchup. I used to cast so many of these back in the day, and I forget sometimes what it's like, but Gerald throwing us a curveball, and I'm so happy for it. Thank you, Gerald, giving this to me personally. This is for me. I was going to say to the viewers, but no, it's really just for me. I don't know if Skillus is going to be expecting this. You know, you scout in the base. It all looks very normal. Nothing crazy to see here, right? Why would you be expecting a proxy Dark Shrine? Oh my god, but Skillus is going to scout it. Oh, dude. That's a big scout. That is a big scout. Now, you know what's really weird? Is that the Pylon health bar is over top of the Dark Shrine health bar, even though the Pylon is behind the Dark Shrine. I don't like that. Why does that happen? Why is that a thing? That shouldn't be a thing. The Pylon health bar should be back here. Oh, he didn't cancel it. That's just a kill on the Dark Shrine. Yeah, that is unfortunate. Gerald missing that cancel. I mean, he does have Blink finished up. He does have his third on the way. This is still a fairly even game, but that money that he spent on that could have been spent on more units. And we see in the army supply that it is reflected. Gerald just doesn't have as much stuff as Skillus. And Skillus is going to try to take advantage of that with his much superior stalker count. I'm really worried for Gerald here. He just doesn't have much. The shield battery is not done yet. Nice blinks away. But he still loses that stalker. Shield battery here will help. There is an immortal being chrono boosted out, but I mean, this is just nice damage right now for Skillus. You know what? This has gone better for Gerald than I had expected. Some nice blink micro there. I guess when you only have 3 stalkers, it's a little bit easier to nail that blink micro, but as I say that, loses another one. Let the body of that one fly by us. You know, in some of these maps, you let the bodies hit the floor, but in this one, you let the bodies hit the camera. Skill's dropping a lot of gateways. Oh my god, 7 gateways in production right now as Charge and +1 are being chrono boosted with this War Prism. And it feels like Skillus smells blood in the water. He just wants to go for an overwhelming amount of Zealots to try to knock down Gerald right now. And I think it's going to work. And I feel like Gerald is not going to have enough to hold on to this. Immortal's not that great at dealing with charge lots.
Man. Wow.
Neither are Blink Stalkers in this situation. Saito resubscribing with Prime, hitting that 16-month mark. Thank you so much, Cytotonic. Hope you had a lovely time at that LAN. Hope you're able to sell some good art. Hope people appreciate the high quality artistic talent. Alright, Skill is going to dive in here. There are the charge lots. Big blink forward. Going to try to take down the Immortals. Targets one, targets the second one, and we'll get them both. And I think Skillis is going to just straightforward pummel through this. Targets down the Super Shield battery. And that should just be that. The army supplies, everything just in favor of Skillis. Gerald going to try his best to hold on here, using the high ground, but from the very beginning, from that Dark Shrine being scouted, this game has been going well for Skillis. And I think this is just going to be a good one for our Team Liquid Protoss. We should be heading to a game 3 here very shortly. Oh man, Gerald he's really blink microing. I don't think you can overcome this army supply deficit though. Whew. There's the GG. Skillis takes it, ties the series up. Stops that revenge from happening. Is this going to be another 2-1 today for Skillis over Gerald? All right, Alcyone is going to be map number 3. Players are ready. Starting the countdown. I like that Gerald went for something a little bit different, but we do see the danger of going for a non-standard play in a matchup that's as ironed out as this one, particularly in the European PvP style. Again, these players know how to hit the build just right. If you deviate from that, you have to get some sort of damage done to justify it, right? Ideally, you want to get more damage done than deviating from it damaged your build. Now, last game, that was not the case for our blue player down here in the lower left-hand corner. Is Psystorm Gaming's Gerald. Dropped that Dark Shrine, spent a bunch of money and a bunch of time trying to get that out, and then it didn't get anything done. 0 damage done. His opponent in the upper right-hand corner able to take advantage of that and close it out for Team Liquid. It is Skillis. Didn't sell any paintings, just a few stickers and prints. Well, that is at least something. I can only recommend having your paintings on my wall. It's only improved my life. But not everybody can handle it. I really love having like actual art on the walls. I do like having prints. I have a number of prints on my walls too, but like there's something about having a canvas on your wall that somebody physically painted that feels so much nicer. It's actually, I've been meaning to go back and buy a painting. There's a place here that has really good like jerk chicken and, you know, like Caribbean food. And also they like sell paintings. And I've been meaning to go back and buy one, because I really like the paintings, but the last time I went, I could not afford a painting at the time, so I've wanted to go back, spend like $60 on a little painting. They have some really nice big ones, but I definitely don't have $500 to spend on a painting, so gonna avoid that. Sentry kills the probe. Ooh, okay. We're changing it up a little bit here. Skillet's going for a Stargate. Not straight to a Dark Shrine. Imagine. Imagine that world. Gerald is going straight for the Twilight Council. He's going to be playing it a bit more standard. Skills is going to get the scout off on that. Will Gerald be able to get the scout off on the Stargate? Ooh, Stalker's running away a little bit late here. Can he get out of there? Run! Oh, it's so low. Depths try to get in. Looks like the Stalker will escape. Got its shields coming back on now. The Adept's not going to be able to break through. They will at least grab a couple of probes here. Oh, he's just going to go for the recall. But that means Gerald is not going to be able to scout the Stargate. Going to be very important. There's already an Oracle heading across the map. There's no shield battery in the main mineral line for Gerald. Rut-row raggy. Yeah, Gerald's not going to be ready for this at all, I think. And I feel like this Oracle could just get a bunch of damage done. The surprise Oracle. Probe's getting pulled immediately. But even so, it's going to be 2, 3 kills, 4. He wants to get the 5th one. He's going to get the 5th one. And that Oracle should stay alive as well. Blink is not quite done yet. That's just 5 dead probes and a bunch of lost mining time there. Nice start for Skillis. His blink is not that much later either. Like, I feel like this is just flat out better for Skillis. Oh, Adept sneak back in. They're going to go a couple more probes, so at least that's something for Gerald. His third base also a little bit sooner, but yeah, not much. Barely. Technically sooner. It's actually, it's so close. I still like Skillis' position, though. He's still up 5 workers after all this. That Oracle just getting its job done. Shield battery is done now. A little surprised we didn't see a second Oracle. I feel like sometimes getting into with the double Oracle can be really nice too. Oh, wow, Skill's going straight for a 4th. These third bases just finished. Feels like a very early 4th base here for Skillis. Gerald's checking this side out. Try to get in here, maybe get something done. Probably just clear this pylon. Skillis is out in the middle of the map right now, though, so... Oh, those Blink Stalkers just go in? They're just going in. Skillis warping in Stalkers, but... Gonna lose a cheeky pylon. It looks like Gerald's gonna try to get out. Is he just gonna go for a blink and a recall? This feels crazy for Gerald. He's taking around so long. Yeah, there's the recall. Gonna lose 1 more Stalker on the recall. Honestly, not bad though. 6 probes, traded out a couple Stalkers for a couple Stalkers. Took this pylon out, which was powering 2 gateways and the Robo. Observer finally gets out. It was so close. Time to go 30 minutes Disruptor Wars. Indy, it sounds like you've played a few European PvPs in your time, buddy. It sounds like maybe you've got some experience in these games. Honestly, I would love to see some Disruptor Wars. I've been casting so much Korean PvP, and I swear those guys don't remember Disruptors exist in this matchup. They just, like, forget that they can build Disruptors. I love watching the Disruptor back and forth. So much fun. I'm sure it's extremely tedious to play Blinkstalker Disruptor against Blinkstalker Disruptor. But it's great for the viewers. It's great for the fans. And that's who really matters. We do have our first Disruptor on the way for Gerald, who seems to be a bit more into it than Skillous. Skillous, he didn't build any Disruptors in game 1, right? And that was, I feel like, a big part of the reason Gerald ended up winning. I don't like when a player just decides not to go for a tech in a matchup like this. It's like, it feels like you're nerfing yourself. You're just making it harder for yourself. Well, both players going for the Dark Shrine this time. Would always love to see some Blink DTs. And Skill's just maintaining his one base lead that he's had for a while now. Economically, it hasn't really been that big of a deal. Just a slight benefit there for Skillous. But, yeah, much quicker to that gold base. Gerald's still just on 4. Proxy gate. Gerald wants to take that gold base, but Skillous is posturing up here, making it really difficult. As more Disruptors come out, though, Skillous is going to have to be careful. Hanging out near a ramp. Ooh, Gerald's going to double expand. Skillous should spot this with the pylon, so he sees this one coming up. He's going to triple expand, excuse me. Gerald dropping 3 Nexuses. Oh my god, that Disruptor Nova was so close. Ooh, that's a big stasis trap, though. Got some dancing Stalkers up front here. I love when the units dance in the stasis. God, can you imagine? Like, these guys are just trapped, but these Stalkers are forced to dance. Imagine being forced to dance. Alright, they're out of stasis. Nice force field there. A couple Disruptor Novas going out. Skills did force a cancel on the gold base, but again, there's 2 other Nexuses coming up. Big kill on a pylon right before it's able to finish warping in. Gerald's going to grab this Nexus and just keep on moving forward. This one down here looks like was forced to cancel because of the Zealots coming in. So Skillous kills a Nexus and forces 2 more cancels in just a moment here. Skill is channeling his inner Polt right now. And Gerald doesn't seem to be able to do anything about it. He's got those Disruptors, but they just get sent out, and then the Stalkers just run away. Now, Gerald does still have this one finishing up down here with a bunch of shield batteries and cannons at it. Which I think is really nice, but I mean, Skillous has this base up top. So now it's still 5 base to 6. Skillous maintains that 1 base lead despite Gerald trying to triple expand to make up for it. I'm also noticing that Skillous has +1 armor and +1 shields, whereas Gerald just has just started +1 shields, but we got double Forge over here getting those armor shield upgrades for Skillous. You rarely see that. Armor and shields coming up at the same time. Oh, another stasis trap. Gerald has decided the answer is to swap to air as he starts up 4 Stargates and +1 ship weapons. Oh, big Zealot run by here. Disruptor going to help out a little bit. Oh, but there's DTs also. And there's an Observer here for Skilla, so even the counter DT is not going to be a guaranteed win here, although Gerald seems to have enough counter DTs to make that happen. But as he brings the main army back over here to kill this, he is going to lose another Nexus. I swear to God, Skillis is the reincarnation of Hulk right here. He is just sniping Nexuses left and right. Kills another one. 9 more probes going down. Gerald trying desperately to take some bases here. DTs blink around. I love the DT blink animation. Like the Stalker blink is kind of cool. It just kind of blinks out of existence, you know? But the DT blink one, the Shadow Stride one, is so cool. Skill is just making this such a pain for Gerald to deal with. 12 more probes going down as these Zealots come in, do some damage, and then I feel like they should just leave. Oh, but Skill's going to try to hit on this side as well. Disruptor Nova will send those Stalkers packing. Gerald's got a good amount of stuff up here. These Zealots are not going to have a good time fighting against this. Oh, the Observer helps. The Observer helps. Disruptor Nova is getting very close to connecting here. Skill so far doing a great job avoiding those. But I'm always worried about one big Disruptor Nova connection just turning the tide of the game. That being said, Skillis has been mining a lot more these last 5 minutes. Look at his bank. That is insane. It's at like 7K, 2K almost. Just been mining so much. Doesn't even have these gases. I'd love to see him take these gases. Start sucking up some of that gas too, because he has such a mineral bank, but not much in the tank for gas. Skills warping in on the top side. I think Gerald is realizing that. Oh, I don't know. I mean, he has to guess this base is here, but Skills has taken every base on his side of the map. And he's just ahead 2 bases right now. Oh my God, he's going to take this one too. It's like an insult. Except it's really just Skills taking advantage of the fact that he has full map control right now. Gerald cannot move out on the map. Stalkers come in, grab a Disruptor, and get on out of there. Oh, missed that blink a little bit. A couple Stalkers go down. Stasis trap. Ooh. Oh, spots it. He spots it. Gerald too good. Sees that trap. Tectonic Destabilizer is on the way for Gerald. That's going to be the upgrade that makes Tempest do well against buildings. It seems like Gerald is planning to swap to a Tempest-based army here at some point. And they're both pretty much maxed. It's going to have to be after some trading. But he's really getting set up for that with all the ship weapons, Tectonic Destabilizers, 4 Stargates, etc. Gerald's starting to bank up as well. He has traded worse this game. And Skillis has also mined more. We'll see if these Tempests can make a difference. Maybe they can sit back here and just fire on the probes. What's the Tempest range? I don't remember what Tempest range is anymore. That's, for some reason, that has escaped my brain. I feel like it's 15. Oh, Skillis not watching. Oh my God, I wasn't expecting that. Skillis more focused on the top side where he does force another cancel on another base. Disruptor Novas, one does connect there. Okay, and just like that, Gerald gets 2 big Disruptor Nova connections. And look at that. The resources traded evens right up. That was like 2,000 difference before. Now it's 500. Just a couple of Disruptor Novas connect, and it makes a big difference. Skillus is going to take this base. Oh my god, Gerald, you cannot let this happen. You can't let him do it to you. Skillus going to get his first scout of the Tempests here. +3 shields and +3 armor finishing up for skill. So he's at full 333. Not an upgrade count you see very often, even in PvP. Gerald's going to blink down. He's going to catch these stalkers. A lot of stalkers actually getting caught here. Oh, this is really, really nice for Gerald. But Skillus is going to move in with his other army and start working on some of this static defense. Looks like Gerald's going to get pulled back to try to defend. DT's warping in. Disruptor not going to get the connection it's looking for. But I feel like this army for Skillus might be trapped a little bit here. He's going to get back to some shield batteries, but that's not going to be enough. He needs the rest of his army back over here, I think. There's so much stuff for Gerald. His army is looking very powerful. And he is going to clear this position. Skillus, he's thinking about coming in with the rest of his stalkers. Try to hit on the backside. Ooh, more stalkers showing up. These Tempests a little bit exposed. They do have some immortal friends still underneath them, though. And Gerald, I think, took a very nice fight there. Yeah, finally taking the positive trades, which Gerald absolutely needs to do because he's been mining so much less than his opponent over the last 10 minutes of this game. It's crazy. The first of the carriers pops. A couple more still on the way. Skill's trying to get into this space, but Gerald does have some units coming down to deal with it. Oh, the carrier is going to be shown. It's going to get jumped on. It doesn't go down, though. Stays alive. Gerald's starting to be able to defend these bases he's trying to take here. Skillus needs to find a way in. Yeah, you know, I think you're right. I think Tempest range is, was it 9 against ground and then 12 against air? That seems kind of right. Oh, Stalker's going to get right underneath these Tempests. They're going to take down 1, 2, 3. That's kind of expensive for Skills, though. He lost a lot of Stalkers to do that. Oh, and DT's over here getting a lot of kills. Skills not watching. He's more focused on the top side. Losing a ton of stalkers. It's okay though, he's got a massive bank and he's got his own Tempests. Now that he's killed some of Gerald's Tempests, it can make it a lot easier for his army to do well here. Gerald does have 4 carriers on the way though, so that army supply right now is not reflecting Gerald's actual army supply. He's got so much in production. Okay, hold on, I think he just canceled them. Massive Disruptor Nova. He's trying to swap into his own Tempest. Realizing the carriers aren't going to help him that much right now. Super Shield Battery turns on. There are cannons back here, as well as these Immortals, but Skillus trying to jump on it anyways. Gerald bringing some units in from the back, but some Zealots coming in from the back for Skillus as well. This is so hard to read as each player micros in and out of this fight. I think Gerald's going to have enough to hold. He's got more Stalkers warping in, but so does Skillus. I don't think these Disruptor Novas have any Novas left. It's just the one carrier. The shield batteries and cannons, though, should help Gerald enough defensively to hold on for a little while. These army supplies are so dead even. Gerald down a tiny bit here. Oh, looks like he's a little bit worried about holding on to this. Having said, Skillus, only his front line is fighting right now, but then he blinks forward to take a better fight here. But as the Tempests come out for Gerald, these supplies are still dead even. My god. Remember though, during all this, Skillus is mining from one of Gerald's bases and every single one of his own bases. So if this game just continues longer and longer, these probes mining over here, that is going to matter. Skills needs it, though. He has traded much, much worse these last few minutes. He's now down 7,000 resources in those trades. So we see his bank is almost completely depleted, and Gerald's is actually growing a little bit as they're both chilling at maxed. How many Stalkers have died this game? 156 Stalkers have died on Skillis' side. Make it 157. 100 more than Gerald has lost. Crazy. But as I say that, Skillis dives in, kills the gold nexus and all the static defense with his Stalkers. Gerald says, screw it, I'm going for this, but then he's going to recall down to this base. Skillis, though, moving over to this one. Ooh, Disruptor Nova's going out. Stalkers will blink away. Gerald finally kills this base, takes care of it, and he's going to try to come back and pincer this army a little bit. Maybe. Skills goes back home. Their upgrades are so similar across the board now. God, it felt like Skills was ahead. He was so far ahead for so long. But Gerald just holding on. Teching up, getting into that tech a little bit sooner. Skills is going to try to retake this Nexus, but Gerald does not want to let that happen. And he's going to force another cancel. Oh my god, the mothership. The mothership recall. He's just coming right in. And Skillis did make disruptors. And he's just going to take this base out. Oh, we weren't counting on it. Mama coming into play. And that is another dead base here for Gerald, who's now just in the middle of the map trying to figure out where he wants to go. Does he want to go try to defend? Try to kill this army? Does he want to go after bases of his opponent? But all this hemming and hawing means that Gerald just lost a lot. Skills is still chilling now. He hasn't really lost much at all. He is starting to chew into this infrastructure now. This base, though, is mined out of the gas already. Damn. Oh, and Skillis is here. Is Gerald going to be ready for this? Disruptor Nova's going out. Zealot's hitting on the backside, actually making a lot of these Stalkers just path super weirdly to try to get around them. A lot of probes went down, but Gerald is losing a lot of his army, it feels like. Needs to get joined up with the rest of this. A time warp goes down. That slows down the Disruptor Novas going through it even. Now the cloaking field as well for Skillis, using all of his abilities. That looks like Mama is probably not going to last much longer. But she's done her job, and Skillis is continuing to push forward here. Kills the Nexus. Sends Gerald packing. Gerald does end up ahead about 20 army supply, though. That is pretty huge. Woo! Disruptor Nova doesn't quite connect. That was so close there. But a good snipe from Skillis once again. And Gerald gets sent home. This is kind of awkward now for Gerald. He's caught between a rock and a hard place here. Does he have some reinforcements nearby? Oh my god. He's getting pincered. Skillis is on both sides. He's squeezing him in. The Tempest count starting to fall. Gerald's got one more Disruptor Nova. Can it connect? No, the blink away. The base is forced to cancel, and Gerald takes an abysmal fight there. Skillis really, I mean, that was just really, really nice. Sending Gerald around this side and then splitting half his army to come in down here. Beautifully done by Skillis. Takes a fantastic fight and ends up 40 supply ahead in the army. Yeah, he lost a base. It's not that important, though. He's got other bases mining minerals still. Oh, and as the Zealots come in here, it looks like Skillis is going to start long-distance mining. Take a look at the trades. Much closer now than they were before. Skillis closing that gap by a lot. Damn, 15 more of Gerald's probes going down here. As Skillus is actually putting a Nexus down at this base. Insane. The static defense is all gone here. Which means this gold base is just not going to be long for this world. Gerald diving in here. He's going to try to take this base down, but he doesn't even finish the base off. Skillus at the same time trying to knock down the static defense. Not doing a great job at it, though. He's still 30 army supply ahead as Gerald dives in here, but Skillus not looking. Another big disruptor nova because Skillus was looking away, probably down here. He is clearing these bases, clearing these positions that Gerald cannot hold any longer. This is a painful spot for Gerald. Skillus still has some amount of money coming in. He's got a split army here that Gerald's struggling to deal with. Skillus just has so many stalkers. 50 stalkers on the map right now for Skillus. My God. My goodness. He's almost lost 200. 195 Blink Stalkers have gone down this game. More Blink Stalkers than Zealots. That's crazy, actually. More Blink Stalkers than Interceptors have died this game. Ooh, this fight's not going super well for Skillus. Got to be a little bit careful here taking these fights. More than half of his army is just up to the top side, but he recognizes how important this base is, and he is just going to try to dive on top of it, killing the static defense, killing a lot of this. Gerald is going to kill this Nexus at the same time, but remember, this is really Gerald's Nexus position. Skillus was just stealing it temporarily. This, though, this is a big deal for Gerald. He can't afford to be losing these bases. He doesn't have any other mining. Literally everything else he has is mined out. Down to 25 probes. Oh my God, he's sending the probes in here, but there's a whole army down here. Ooh, Disruptor Nova's coming out. Some good connections for Gerald. Finally taking a good fight here. But as more Stalkers show up, it feels like Skillus is just going to be able to overrun this. Can he actually close it out here? Neither player has much money in the bank right now or a ton of mining. I think Skillus just has a little bit more and a little bit too much. God, these Disruptor Novas making it so much closer. But Gerald is forced to run away. He's got 11 army supply. He's got a little bit of money in the bank. But that is about it. He just spent it all. And he's losing the last of his probes too, so this is it. Skillus, though. Skillus still has more stuff. Let's see how many Stalkers he's lost. 251 Stalkers have gone down in this game for Skillus. That is so many Stalkers. And I mean, we know these are the last few units for Gerald. It doesn't seem like Gerald's going to be able to get his revenge today, as it looks like Skillus is poised to take yet another 2-1 victory in this matchup. Gerald is fighting it out, but he's on 9 probes, and this is his entire army. That's going to be GG. Skillus takes it. 32 minutes. Honestly, I thought Gerald was dead way earlier, and then he pulled it back and actually brought it to a really good spot where he had a scary army. But Skillus held it out, whittled him down, and took the game. GG.